So welcome everyone to this, I think we're on our 14th go-to meeting, go-to meeting presentation in our annual monthly content marketing webinar. My name is Byron White. I'm the host of this webinar. And I'm going to spin through my presentation and see if we can start away. In the meantime, Manus is in the background. He is the founder and CEO of MaxMail HQ and a number of other companies. And we will look to get Manus's presentation up on the screen here just in a few minutes, one way or the other. So without further ado, I assume everybody can see my screen and hear me talk. If you can't hear me talk, that's another problem we can take up later. But I'm going to go through a couple of announcements regarding idealaunch and what's going on, and then I'm going to go through some general basics of the content marketing revolution that I like to refer to. And I'm going to go through some 10 tips for e-marketing success from my perspective, and then Manus is going to get a little bit deeper involved in the presentation with email marketing. So a couple of announcements to make. If you need content for your next email marketing campaign, idealaunch has a fabulous new service called Writer Access that some of you may or may not be aware of. It's a great place to enter an assignment, have a writer pick up that assignment, and literally complete the work to your specification. If you're not happy with what they've created, you don't pay. And we have literally thousands of writers over there waiting for assignments to be picked up. We've got about 200 clients since we launched it about 2 months ago. It's a great program. We actually use it ourselves at Content 6, our higher-end content marketing agency. That's part of idealaunch as well. So great opportunity over there for you to get some fantastic content created. Number two, there's a new case study that I launched on the homepage of content6.com, another service of idealaunch that I think you'd find very interesting. I spent a lot of time creating this, so feel free to download that. It talks about more specifically how we track the ROI of content marketing. So I think you'll find that quite interesting. Number three, we have a whole bunch of new resources that we loaded up into idealaunch, including some guides and some ebooks and some case studies, and all the speaking decks are going to be loaded up, I think, by Monday. I've spoken now 26 times, including 12 content marketing. Some and some really cool. So it's all good. Let's see. Let's move into my part of the fabulous presentation here, namely the content marketing revolution. So I'm going to spin through these fairly quickly and see if we can just help everyone understand what's really happening out there. I'll begin this discussion by making a statement, and that is the following. Forward-thinking companies are starting to think like publishers, gathering ideas, developing stories, and publishing content that engages their readers and keeps them coming back for more. And I call this content marketing. And you know, in general, content marketing begins with the art of listening to your customers' wants and needs, and that is probably the trickiest part of this process. And there are some very important tools and techniques that you need to learn to listen to what your customers are saying. Certainly questionnaires or focus groups are some of the old school methods that we use to gather information on our customers' wants and needs. We can now look at our search boxes. We can look at what's happening in the social media sphere and what people are saying about your brand. We can look at analytics to see what pages on your website are more popular. We can look at certainly outside keyword popularity to look at the most popular terms and phrases and topics to be writing about and the needs regarding the needs of your customers. But it's tricky stuff, and this is where you either are successful or fail with regards to content marketing. It's also the science of delivering content to your customers in a compelling way. When we did a survey earlier in 2010 on the types of content assets people were planning on rolling out in 2010, and it's quite remarkable how wide that net is really being cast now. You know, people are printing physical books. We can actually print books for people at Content 6. We're an on-demand book publisher. And of course, blog posts and ebooks and email, of course, the reason we're here today, RSS feeds, there are just incredible things happening out there with regards to publishing, and you need to get in tune with that and really look for opportunities to make that work. It's constantly testing campaigns with A/B testing and multivariate testing, and that includes in email marketing. You need to test different segments with different offers, look at the conversion rates, look at the click-through rates, look at the activity and action people are taking. I like saying to people, if you're not testing your web pages, you're living in the dinosaur age. Next, we need to make sure you're measuring reader engagement and their desire for more and looking at all of this great data. I've done a number of different webinars in the last year or so regarding ROI measurement, and now you can get super granular and show your CFO actual return on investment for, of course, email marketing. We're going to talk about that more later today, but also your overall online marketing efforts. There's lots of ways to track ROI. It's getting very, very exciting, which is why I think 2011 content marketing will truly be, it will be the year of content marketing for everyone, I think, in 2011. It's all starting to come together. It's also catching readers orbiting at high speeds, and that needs to be done with apps and podcasts and other things beyond your traditional reach. And you need to engage them with lots of entertaining concepts and ideas to make it all work. Next, it's developing a pipeline that will help educate your readers and earn trust and drive sales. Certainly offering content and accumulating leads and scoring those leads with technology like Salesforce, and inducing trial, of course, and scoring content and sort of the activity level. It is truly remarkable how content can completely transform your business and turn it into a real pipeline to drive sales. I want to talk about scoring content for just 1 second. When you download a asset or sign up for a webinar, it is now possible with idealaunch, where we bring in leads directly into Salesforce. We score those leads based on engagement. We have a database of about 28,000 prospect customers, and we're able to see who's interacting with our content, who's engaging with what we have to offer. And that is really what you need to be doing, including your email marketing. It's all about the engagement factor. So let me now run through 10 tips which I put together for you for email marketing. I've assembled some pretty interesting data. So, make it short for the long haul of the relationship. This is a great email that I got from PayPal. You cannot get any more short and concise and to the point. Reach 90 million PayPal users. Okay, if I want to advertise, I'll click on that. Facebook 101. If I'm interested in some education, there you go. If I'm interested in more education, and how about the wildcard go? I love that. I'm not even sure where that takes you, but the bottom line is short and concise is really what you need to be thinking about, at least as you begin experimenting with a variety of different email campaigns. Emails are, of course, telling stories. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more at the end of my 10th slide here, but here's an interesting email that was sent to me, targeted, spelled my name correctly, always a first barometer for me on whether they picked my name up, with actual intelligence or whether they just scraped it somewhere. But the net of it is, there's words like interesting even pop out. The ROI from social commerce is very interesting. When integrating social interactions into e-commerce journeys, blah, 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 this is at least giving me some data that's starting to perk my attention. Do I want to learn more about their case studies and their clients? Possibly, but at least it's beginning to tell a story. Next, we want to look at customer service is the new black, right? So I rented a car. I was in Denver for the Thanksgiving weekend, and I was pleasantly surprised to get an email back from Hotwire saying, hey, we kind of care about you. Did you pick up the car that you reserved? Yes or no? Were you happy with the service? I'm not saying this is a perfect email, but what I'm saying is people are using emails as touch points. I remember long ago in putting together some sales training material when I was the director of worldwide sales for a company called Aquent. I went out to 16 markets in 5 different countries and did a bunch of sales training. And one of the core elements to the training was what we called touch points. And back in those days,